I know this team's built different. It's exciting to see where we go now in the next 2 weeks.
Well, for the sake of Dside, I'd say a three-peat, but I don't really care. I just want to win this weekend. So I don't really care about the legacy.
Training Thursday night, we've booked the pitch, so we'll definitely be training at Valentine Sports Park. So well set, we know what structure. So, well, maybe we'll talk in one of the change rooms.
Like a friendly, 30-minute match.
Maybe we'll have a game.
You know, everyone talks about, minor prems, this and that, who gets the most points, but then, the next year, who won the grand final last year? Dside again, hopefully Dside 3 times.
We're ready. I've never felt more confident going into a final. We're going to win.
See that door there that's made out of steel? I think we're going through it whatever happens. So that's how confident I am.
No disrespect to Jaden. Okay, Jaden is a good defender, yeah? Don't get me wrong, he's a really good player, yeah? But the back line, bro, 8 goals. Come on, bro. Gotta give it to the whole.
He'd score 6. You'd have 6 with Jaden.
So you're saying Jaden's your only back covers your whole team? Is that what you're trying to say?
Why Jaden, bro? Yeah, I'll put him and Sammy. Yeah, you're the midfielder, yeah?
Come work goes on! But it's fallen here towards Icon!
Oh my word.
To find her teammate in Izzy Grant! And now played and struck and in! People, Ryan Dominici! And further forward now Tagura!
We're all ready to play and yeah, we'll go out and smoke it this time.
Well, this is probably the biggest grand final of the live stream era. We've got Dside against Ponds, not for the first time, and it certainly will be memorable. Boys, thanks so much in your numbers for being here tonight. Really do appreciate it. And this place looks wonderful with the array of jerseys on display. Let's go straight to Matty Hubbard, who's right here to my left. Let's finally settle this. The game against you guys 2 weeks ago that automatically qualified you for the final. Dside have come on here and said that they dominated parts of the game where it was a bit closer on the scoreboard. Is that true, or were you guys the superior team on the day?
No, I'll be honest. I thought the first half, they did dominate us. They had a lot of chances. They missed a lot of chances, but at the end of the day, come the second half, we clicked into gear and put away our chances. At the end of the day, it's semi-final football. You can have 80% ball, but at the end of the day, we scored 4, they scored 1, so we won the game. So possession means nothing, chances mean nothing. We won the game, so we'll take that.
Fantastic. Let's bring Dside in. Congratulations on making it here again. Glenn, your boys have done it again. How proud are you of this squad for what they've achieved, not just this year, but for a cumulative number of years that have made the grand final now?
No, I'm very proud of the boys. I've got a talented bunch of players, and they just keep performing every year. They breeze through the season, and then when it comes to semi-finals times, they just step it up. Every year they do it, and so proud of them. They clicked into gear the second half of the season, and we only lost one game. It was the game against Ponds the other week. So dominant display on the weekend against Workers. Once got the monkey off our back, so it was a good result.
Ethan Icon took 6 goes across 3 seasons, but you guys have avenged all of those when it counts most in this finals series. To beat Workers in the manner that you did was pretty emphatic, and we're going to unpack that first and foremost. But your performance in particular was pretty defining. Let's be honest. The second goal of the day, which was your first, was really the killer for them, and it made them shift into all kinds of weird formations. But let's talk about your movement for that first goal. Talk me through you finding yourself, alone in the Workers' box.
I had a chance earlier in the day and fluffed it, and it went straight to 𝘏𝐀𝐓, and he scored. So I was lucky that we got that. But yes, my first goal was I don't know, just Nerio beat his defender, and I watched it back. I didn't even know Byron was right behind me. If I missed it, he was by open goal. But yeah, I managed to dart in, and then good connection on that one, and yeah, lucky it went through Connor's legs.
Yeah, most certainly. Ryan, let's bring you in. Been a long time between drinks between your first and second podcast appearance, but first of all, great to have you back. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Good to have another Dominici back on the podcast. After the first goal, they switched to this back 3, plus they bring on Shane, who's, he's a utility player, but he's not a regimented, week in, week out defender. He's the one that's left alone to mark Byron and Ethan Icon in the box for what proves to be a very decisive and helpful second goal. That back 3 is not something I've seen them switch into. So what did you make of their decision to shift things? Because it ended up costing them 3 further goals.
I think the 3 at the back definitely put them at a weak spot. I think that's how we managed to get 3 goals so quickly. But I don't think we were too worried about their formation. We did notice that they did change that 3 at the back, but I think that we were pretty hard on the press from start to finish of the game. So we were just going as hard as we could, pushing as hard as we could to get the result. So, yeah.
Their midfield, your midfield, I made a big song and dance about how good and how consistent their midfield has been this year. Do you think you won the battle of the midfield 3 out there, Doonside versus Workers?
Yeah, for sure. I know Nick and Daniel definitely did a good job pushing on their men. They got a bit more ball than what I managed to get, but they did a great job on it and getting it forward. I think their midfield are pretty strong. They managed to float in and out with combining up with their striker and their wingers, which makes it a bit hard to handle, but just on the day, as I said, we were pressing pretty hard, talking quite a lot between ourselves to make sure we don't get, doubled up on or anything like that, and yeah, that's it.
Good stuff. Chris 𝘚𝘌𝐾𝐓, 8 goals in all comps for what has been a very prolific season in front of goal, despite the fact that you should be nowhere near it, including a goal, if we throw back to a fortnight ago against these guys, which is obviously, your junior club from yesteryear. Pretty important goal in sending you guys into this grand final automatically. First and foremost, how's the week off been? But also, let's talk about that game and that goal a little bit. How was it?
Yeah, look, the goal itself, I can replay it. Just made my dominance in the box. Needed to be offset pieces, especially not just for myself, but the boys as well. We're wanting to be a little bit more clinical offset pieces, and that's something we thoroughly worked on end of the second half of the season. So paid off quite well in the game against these guys a few weeks ago. And in terms of the week off, it was just mainly just to give boys a bit of a rest from the extensive football we've had this year with Cotton Cup, Australia Cup, and midweek games and things like that. So we've all put in, we've all pretty much been extensive season for us. So the week off has paid off in dividends, but we still prepared well with training last week, and would prepare well this week with training as well. And good performance and that coming up for this week, which we're hungry for. So
I'll be doing a lot of praising of Ethan Icon today, but you jumped over him for the goal to tower over him for the header. Have you already won the mental battle going into this grand final?
No, I'm staying grounded. It doesn't matter who's up against. I'll just make my presence known where I can and be an impact where I can. So yeah, kudos.
That is it's actually kind of terrifying. Fardo, welcome back to the podcast as well. Good to have you on. Another
Thanks,
really
man.
good season in front of goal for you. I've discussed with Tong earlier this season about on previous podcasts about the roles that this front three have and how fluid you guys are and how good your chemistry and relationship is. Talk to me about it from your perspective. How have you guys moved and changed and learned about each other as the season's gone on, and how fluid is it now, 20 weeks into the season?
Yeah, it's super fluid. Yeah, I mean, I think first 2 games we were like pretty crap, and then we drew and we're like, yeah, something's not working. Put me out to the wing, put Tong up to striker, and then it just clicks after that. I mean, the back end of this year, like I've rotated a bit between wing and striker, left forward, right forward, whatever. But Tong is fantastic up there because he does a lot of things I don't do, and then I can just play my game a bit more freely. He's a big body, 70% of him is his legs. So I mean, he's always, you just gotta kick the ball at him and he'll touch it somehow. So yeah, I love playing up there with him. He wins his headers. He's a hard worker. He's always got a beautiful smile on his face. So it makes it easy to play with him.
Oh, fantastic! You've just quite a compliment. Yeah, it's quite nice. Tong, I'll throw straight to you. So you do all the hard work and he just finishes off all the goals. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a good finisher, so yeah, why not?
Yeah. I'm glad to hear it.
Sometimes he works hard, but sometimes I tell him, listen, just rest up there. I'll win the ball. I'll go back and defend, win the ball.
You've been among the goals this year yourself. Probably your best season when you've played the full season. Now that we've got to this pointy end of the season, and I can reveal you've had some good votes come your way in terms of Player of the Year too. How do you reflect on your own personal campaign?
I don't know. I just think the team in general has just been good throughout the year. The boys just stick to the game plan, and yeah, they got the best out of me, and yeah, just every game try to turn up, stick to the game plan, and yeah, why not?
What Dodd said about you in terms of being able to give you a ball under any kind of pressure and back to goal, facing goal, is that the best version of Tong? When we see the best version of Tong, is that what you do? Is that what you bring to the table?
Actually, there's a lot of things I can do.
Tell us.
I don't know. It's just on the pitch. On the pitch, basically I like bringing the ball down, and obviously I know he's quick, and I know how to find him. So yeah, just bring the ball down. I know where he's going next, and you just play him and it's goal.
Ellie, let's bring you in as Chris tries and distracts everybody. Let's finally give some attention to and address the elephant in the room, which is this 𝘏𝘕𝘋𝘌𝘍𝘌𝘈 game, which we have to discuss. I mean, there is no hiding how big of an achievement that is, and Blacktown teams that have gone on to win or be successful or make the final, at least of Cotton Cups, have been held up in quite high regard in terms of the history of teams who have ever come through and have campaigns in this league. We know Marion have done it. We know you guys have done it as well. Talk to me about this crazy 𝘏𝘕 game though, because 117 minutes you have to wait for the only goal, and it turns out to be a pretty golden one.
Yeah, I'd probably say the biggest win of our club, to be honest. I think that team can beat a lot of PL1 teams. That's how good they are. We were on the back foot a lot. They dominated. I'm not going to lie about it. They dominated, but we had the clearer chances because we were catching them on counter. We had a game plan as coaches. We set it well, and the team executed it. We could have executed really early. Tonga and Dodd both had a chance early in the game. Unfortunately, didn't take that chance, so it could have been 2-0 up within 20 minutes. But credit to 𝘏𝘕, man. They just go with numbers. They're not scared. They're not worried. Like, their centre-backs are flying up. Like, they're not worried. They play good football. They're all ex-professional players. They're just all Pommy boys that just, like, going hard. But I think one thing we learnt from that game is... I think it taught us a lot about how much better we can play and can be. We learnt a lot out of them. Just how smart they were, what they did off the ball. They weren't faster than us or anything, but they were just so smart, clinical, knew how to move off the ball, the shapes, the running that we're doing. And credit to the boys. They just hung in there, fought hard. I think Matt saved about 3 or 4 off the line. Unbelievable. Like, it just, I knew when one of them, they headed it, hit the post and went straight into the lap of our keeper. I'm like, we're winning today. You just knew it's just one of them games you knew it was coming. And then, step on when I was getting ready to make some subs to put on my boys that I wanted to take penalties. We're thinking it's going to go into pens, and bang, Dots comes out of nowhere, gets the ball, takes a great first touch, turns in, crack back corner. So we celebrated like it was not only that, it also was like for our undefeated season that we've had. I think that was a great reward for what we've had all year. So it was a bit of an icing on the cake that we knew that, to make Cotton Cup final it's pretty hard to do. We've won it once before, but I feel like the comps just got really stronger. Like back then when we won it, didn't anyone entering the big teams, all big teams. Now everyone goes into it. So great effort by the boys, and I think it's put us in a really good state. As everyone always questions us when it comes to semi-finals. We can't get up for it, or we go missing, or we choke. But I think having gone through the Cotton Cup at the moment and being able to execute under pressure puts us in a really good stead for this grand final.
From an insane, potentially one-off kind of performance of the highest level, I'm going to go to Matt, because we haven't had you guys on since the Blacktown Cup semi-final, which is why I was having some awkward looks when you said undefeated, because I do have to talk about this because you haven't been on since. But on a day where you rotated and they entered a team that was not their first grade team from the word go, the ball just wouldn't go in the back of the net that day against Dooney.
Well, we didn't rotate. We pretty much played full strength. They rotated, we have to give credit. They scored the goal. They won the game. Yeah, we can have 100 chances, but at the end of the day, like I said before, if we don't score a goal, we're not going to win. So take my hat off to them. The 21s, it's a good future for the club at Doonside. They, did well. They even proved it in the final versus Workers. They had chances with the same team. They could have went out and beat Workers as well, but, their chances they had, they didn't score that day. But that's our own mistake for losing that game, and, well done to them.
Let's keep discussing Workers, because, Marcus, I want to talk about you. Specifically, I made
I didn't
no
do
secret.
anything.
It's okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
can see you wearing a hat to try and like hide your facial expressions, but like no secret as to how you were entering the game. Yeah. How are you now and faring for a couple of days' time for the grand final?
I'd be lying if I was good. No, I was at physio yesterday, and it's I'll probably be like 80%, which it's kind of disappointing because like two years ago it was the same thing against these lot. Like I stuffed my ankle, and going into the game again, like at 80%. So it's a bit annoying, but what can you do?
Play golf on Monday.
Yeah. He looked golf course. It's scarier when he's at 80%.
Hey Blake, just from me to you, phenomenal performance and match of the round debut from you, which again something else I made no secret to. You guys can have a giggle, but I think it's worth talking about. There were people who from your team sort of quietly said to me, watch how this guy looks, even though he's only 7 games back now from the knee injury. But you were great. Let's talk about workers though. Because I'm not going to ask you to continue praising yourself. I've done enough of that. Did they surprise you in the way that they approached the game, and was it like a sort of finals worthy matchup in that sense?
I think they approached it the way they've approached every game. To be honest, like midfield moving heaps, wingers coming in. I think I've seen 1 game of them, and I think that was enough to get a clear indication of how they play. I think our midfield just won the battle on the day. Like, it's credit to those boys, and we could build on that. So, yeah, no real surprises there. But
did you feel like your goal was being threatened a whole lot though? Like, should they have maybe thrown a little bit more? I'm not sure.
I think they had 1 chance early, and besides that, I don't think there was really anything else. To be honest, I think as a collective, we were pretty compact, and shut them out. For the majority of the game.
Byron, I'm going to throw to you. The role of you and the hat-wearing man with an issue with his back in front of you was to basically play as wing-backs the entire time. You guys ran hard, and it took you until about the 70th, 75th minute to sort of sub off, and I think you played it a little bit longer too. What can you reveal, or what can you sort of say to the course of Doonside season about what your role has been as wide players? Because your work rate was incredible. Like I reckon if you looked at your heat map, you'd be basically playing as wing backs almost throughout the game. So what was the approach from that perspective, and did you go into it knowing that you and Marcus needed to do that?
I don't know about Marcus. I didn't see him track back much, but I don't think it's really changed too much. I think obviously we know, particularly down that right side with 𝘚𝘕𝘋𝘕 and Ahmed, they're both like very, very lethal. He plays like a second right winger most of the time, so I knew, like me personally, I'd have to be tracking back a lot. I think just standard when you play winger, you're going to have to do some defensive work tracking your fullback if they get forward. So nothing really changed too much in that regard. I think we did well containing their best players. As you said, we won the midfield battle. We stopped them out wide, so I think that really played into our hand a bit. And then once they made that change because they were chasing a goal, then I think that's where we were able to get a few more goals as well.
Let's bring Sam Özdemir in for the first time on his Match of the Round podcast. Davey, welcome, my friend. Now, you've had a good year, and I think for me the epitome of that was the midweek Match of the Round up against Marion, which I then found out was your former employers back in the day. And you were fantastic in that game for 90 minutes. But you actually haven't started a league match or a finals match since round 12. So what's been the case with that? Where have you been?
Had a bit of a hip problem, ongoing issue. I think last game I played workers game, got off at half time, was really sore. Seeing the physio actually said probably wouldn't get to play rest of the season. But worked really hard. Came back pretty strong. Been playing some games recently. I even played 70 minutes against 𝘏𝘕𝘋𝘌𝘈. So I think Ellie's just being very cautious because, again, my physio did say wasn't going to play at all this year. But right now I'm feeling really good. I'd say 100%. So I'm good to play. Gets all up to Ellie, really.
giving your coach headaches. I've been talking about partnerships and trios, like front lines and midfield threes. And let's talk about your midfield three. You're next to your namesake in Sammy as well. Yeah. He's brilliant, we know that, but he's a bit more established than you in terms of he's been around the comp a little bit longer. You kind of took everyone by surprise when you came in, and everyone was like, "Whoa, this is quite a good Ponds midfielder here." And obviously you've had this undefeated season. So, talk to us about your experience in the years leading up to this, and what made you sort of gel with this team around you so quickly.
Well, I think it's very important, especially as a midfielder. It's just about doing a job. Everyone's got their certain roles to do. Like you said, Sam's really good on the ball. He's good going forward. I think my job really was the missing part was maybe just work rate in the middle of the park. That's been a big problem. I think me combined with Sam, I think my work rate, I help, defensive duties and stuff. I sit a little bit deeper. It gives him more time on the ball and more time to go forward. So I think that's why we work well together. But yeah, everyone does their job well. Everyone's got a role to play and they do their role well. So that's why I think we've been doing really well this year. That's it, yeah.
Not calling Sam lazy, are we? Elliot, I got to throw to you for this one, the most experienced podcast attendee from the Ponds, and that is about how your midfielders operated without the reigning player of the year in Aaron Avery and what you guys have achieved. I think you almost have to touch on the fact that there's been not a like for like change at all. Nick George is a completely different profile of player who brings something different. What did he bring that has made such an impact? And are there any other factors that we should be discussing here that has helped springboard you guys from where you have been in previous years to what you've achieved so far already this year, even without the reigning player of the year?
Yeah, I think Nick George is one of the best players in the comp. If ask any of our team, he's probably, when we come to pick our 11, he is the first one picked in our team, or as coaches. The guy's he's just quality, man, and he goes under the eye of a lot of people. People don't realise him because he's a quiet kid, just does his own thing, but he's massive for us in that midfield role. Obviously, Sam's coming this year. I think that BDFC transfer guy, I don't know how he gets his details, but when he first came in, he was saying, we only had him there for reserve grade, and I never thought he would get into first grade and stuff like that. So it was a bit funny, all them comments coming out. But we knew when we signed Sam how good he was. It was just being a bit loyal to the boys that we had and giving them first crack, and we didn't perform the first 2 rounds. So Sam came in, and since then he's never looked back. Probably very unfortunate that he got his injury, but since then Taylor's come in and he's been amazing. So that's tough this weekend, but I just know whoever doesn't start, this is probably our first year going into grand final. We're going to have 5-6 fresh players. So, and we've got reserve grade in there as well. So we've got 32 players and about 5 21s that are eligible to play on the weekend. So we're not worried. People saying, you've got your resis in, so you're not going to have a fresh bench. But we're not worried about that. We've basically got a full 18 ready to go for that game and probably 16 fresh boys for first grade. So, but going back to your question, I don't know where I've gone with the comment, but yeah.
You ruined one of the questions.
Yeah, that's not me. I think I answered 3 questions in that one for you. But yeah, Sam's been massive for us in the midfield, and he's going to have a big role on the weekend. If we got to get past these guys, we know how hard it's been. But we're a different Ponds team this year. We're not what we were 2-3 years ago. We're a different team, different identity, different group of boys, different want, desire, hunger this year. And I think it's probably the first year that we're able to match every team in that desire. Where in years gone past, I think they've had that over us.
Interesting. Okay.
Nothing on Avery.
No, he very politician, Ellie. Marcus, you gave a fantastic answer last year when you unpacked Worker's style of play. So I want to use this time to talk about the way Ponds have played and what you've interpreted from over the years, but particularly this year and what's made them so good. So I'll give you a second to sort of think about that, but what's made Ponds, from your perspective, so good?
This year, like 2 weeks ago, 4-1, and like Hubbard said before, we had a whole bunch of chances in the first half, and then Tom gets one chance in the 42nd minute and slots it away. And like for us, it's like, damn, we've been all over them, and then they score, and then we get out in the second half and then they score again, and you're 3-1 down, and you're like, we've been all over this game. I kind of feel like that's who they are now. It's kind of like you can dominate a game, and what it sounds like in the Glebe Gorilla game, same thing. They catch you on the counter attack, they get down that field, and they only need 2-3 chances in a game and they can win 3-0.
Hubs, what do you say to that? Are you guys pressure absorbers who can sort of springboard from there? What do you think of Marcus's analysis?
No, I think he's spot on. I think this year's a different team. As I think in the last, I'd say 5 years that I know of, it starts obviously at the back as well. We've only conceded, maybe including Blacktown Cup, I'd say maybe 9 goals in our own competition, 8 goals. Like, I don't think there's been a defensive team in Blacktown for 5 years can only see conceded that many. But then, the midfield's dominant this year. They get the ball forward, and then our attack. I think we've scored 40-something goals this year. But this team at Ponds now is not a team that, like, even when we have gone down the odd time, years gone by, that's it, game, pack up, see you later, go home, we get beat by 3 or 4. But now we fight back, and it doesn't matter if it's in the 40th minute, 50th minute, 60th minute. Even against Polonia, we scored 2 goals in, 14 minutes added on. We wouldn't do that years ago. So I know this team's built different. It's exciting to see where we go now in the next 2 weeks. I don't know. I just say bring it on. It's cool.
Chris, I hope you're feeling complimentary because I'm going to task you with the same thing as Marcus. What makes Doonside, such a well-oiled machine from your perspective?
Well, they're workhorses. Like they'll play till the last whistle. From knowing them over the last few years, playing against them, they just work to the last minute. They don't give up. And they could get a leaky goal here or there, and it just works in their favour on the day. But credit to them, that's their mentality. They just work to the last minute. But that's a big thing for us this year as well. Like we've got that mentality too. So come Saturday, it's just going to matter who wants them more and the work rate. And I'm confident our boys that will do that.
I'll get you to pass that to Tong. I'm going to ask Tong, and then I'm going to ask Ryan to my right. We'll do a bit of a comparison here. What do we think would be, let's play hypotheticals, what would be the better achievement? Would it be to have an undefeated season throughout league campaign finals and then win the grand final as well as win Cotton Cup? Would that one-off season be better than these guys doing 3 grand finals in a row? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
Not a lot of Blacktown teams actually make it to the final of the Cotton Cup. So, just to win both of them in the same year, yeah, I reckon.
What do you think is more impressive?
Well, for the sake of Doonside, I'd say a 3-peat, but I don't really care. I just want to win this weekend. So I don't really care about the legacy.
Okay, Ryan Dominici doesn't care about his legacy. Hubs, I'm going to throw it to you. You haven't played since the 8th of August, which is round 18 versus Creek, which was actually 3 days after you played 117 minutes up against 𝐏𝐿𝐕 Gorillas. So I can imagine it's been a bit of a, trying to return to 100%. So where are you at, and how are you feeling ahead of the grand final?
Nice way of saying old.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, an old man should not play 2 days later. That's, if you're out there, don't do it. Retire. No, it's like Semi said. I believe I'm good to go this week, but I haven't trained once. No difference during the year. But that'll be up to Ellie what he does. There's a team that beat Doonside 2 weeks ago 4-1. Does he make changes? Does he stick with the same team? I don't know. At the end of the day, the coach makes the decision, so I'm ready to go, but it's up to him.
Ellie, what decision are you gonna make? This is actually not an easy one, I don't think.
We've got it worked out well good. We know every player's been spoken to. We know what our role is, and obviously we got to come at Doonside this week with something different, man. They've every time we've played them in the grand final in past years, they've been able to get the better of us. Feel like every omen we've had this year, we've executed. So the teams that we haven't been able to beat last 2 years, Dooney and Marion, we've beaten them both. And I feel like throughout the year, like the first game we played them, we beat you pretty well, I feel.
So are you going to start Matt Hubbard?
To see. We'll just have to wait and see what happens on the weekend. Matt isn't my only, I know it's one of the biggest names, but he's not my only. There's about 4 other boys that can get into that starting team. So we're going to go what structure, what team. I'm going to speak to my coaches. We'll dilate about it. We're training Thursday night. We've booked a pitch, so we'll definitely be training at Valentine Sports Park. So well set. We know what structure. See you there. So, or maybe we'll talk in one of the change rooms.
About like a friendly, 30-minute match.
Maybe we'll have a game. Yeah, look, we've got it worked out. We're confident. We've planned for this. I think Matt could have played the last game, but we decided to sit him out. He was ready to go. He wanted to play, but we just thought he's a big player for us, and we just felt like we've got that much depth at the moment that there's, it doesn't matter who misses out this year for us. We're that confident in our team. So if there was that 1%, which we felt last week was a bit of a risk, we thought that we'll rest them. No disrespect to playing them, but it wasn't sudden death. So we had that opportunity.
Hubs, I throw to you. If you win, is it last hurrah for Matt Hubbard in Premier League?
I said that the last 5 podcasts, didn't I? And I come back. I don't know. If the boys all stay, the honest thing is the boys all stay and they say, we want you to play again, I'll play. But if they find someone that wants to take my spot, I'm happy to float around. I'd always stick around and, help reserve grade and help some young kids out. I do enjoy these boys and their company every week, and my kids love coming down every week. So while I can still move, not very quick, I'll still like to keep playing with these boys.
Okay. Dad, I'm going to throw to you. You have 6 goals in 10 matches up against Doonside from when you joined the comp at the start of 24. Now
Really?
Here
It's pretty good.
to 26.
I didn't think it was that much.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. My mind instantly goes to the 2 goals, the second one being scored in the plus 6 minute from the penalty spot. And what was the automatic grand final ticket of your very first year? It was a ridiculous game. Jaden Zwerb scored a brace that day. So that was
I said don't talk about referees.
Sorry.
That was a good game.
Okay, it was a good game. To be honest, 6 in 10 against any team is pretty impressive. Is there a reason? Do you particularly get up for a Doonside game, or is there an aspect of playing against them that you actually kind of suits your style of play and your goal scoring antics?
Yeah, I mean they're just a really good team to play against because you want to win the big games, and I think for the last, this is my 3rd season, but I think for the last 5-10 years, I think Marion, Doonside, Ponds have always been the big teams up there. So yeah, you just want to tell the comp that you don't just score against easier teams. So the goals in those bigger games means a bit more. Doonside, the way they play at the back, is a very different game to Marion this year, for example. Marion's defense has been not the same for some reason, which I've enjoyed really. I've enjoyed that. I don't know why, but they play a high line, and then you got Jaden sitting a bit behind, and he's quick. So that's a bit annoying. But then, I got to do something different. I put a little bit of a shoulder on him last time. Thankfully I did something there. But he's a quality defender. I love the challenge. No one wants to have a blowout of a game, easy game. When you win, you want to feel like you deserve that win. So yeah, I'm just keen for the battle on the weekend.
I like that. Man who's up to the challenge. Okay, I'm going to throw to you. In the same time period, so 2024 to now, you've played 4 less games because you keep going to Europe midway through the season. But your record is 3 in those 6 games. But if I throw it back to the entire live stream era, obviously 2 of those goals is in the grand final of 2024. If I include 𝘜𝘕𝘋𝘌𝘍𝘌𝘈 Junior's era, which is also a hat-trick in one game plus another one in the other round, you've got 7 in 8 against Ponds. And if I include all the way back to 2022, when you also beat Ponds in a grand final, you go to 9 goals in 10 games played, and one of those was in a grand final, plus an assist at day 2. So why do you like tormenting the Ponds?
I don't think it's tormenting. I think it's just like Dodd said, I like the big occasion, and I like versing the harder teams. They bring the best out of me, and they make me work harder for my goals, which is why it's so much sweeter when I do score. Also, my dad used to sponsor them, so it was a little grudge match inside the house, so I had to put one on him.
Byron, we've spoken about Ponds frontline and their relationship, and I asked you when you first joined the club last year about what you guys had developed as a front 3, including yourself, Iken and Marcus. How has that developed over the last 2 years to now this point, where you've had so many games to play against each other, play with each other, and what does that front 3 look and work like now? How?
Yeah, I think you can almost compare us to Ponds and how we get along and how we connect. I think, as everyone knows, I knew Ethan and a few of the boys before I came over. It was part of the reason I came over. I didn't really know Marcus too well when I first moved. Definitely knew about him after you hear his mouth every week. But no, I think me and him have become pretty close. We put shit on each other all the time. So I think it's just grown the front three connection we have over the 2 years, and it's gotten better every week. So yeah, we're definitely all up for the game on the weekend.
I'm going to throw to Ryan. So the big difference between you guys this year and in previous years has been your defence. Now, you've rotated two of the four players on the pitch who have sort of built the grand final legacy, which I know you don't like talking about, but that's the truth. As Hubs mentioned, 8 goals conceded in the league this year. You guys ended the regular season with 29 in your own net, which is it's probably about 1.75 goals per game against you, which is completely unheard of. But you've still managed to stick within 6 points of where they finished come the end of the year. So you've actually scored more goals than them, but it's been a bit leaky at the back. Now, I would say that Blake Stewart has made all the difference, but you still have conceded 9 in the time that he's come in and played 7 games. So that's nothing against Blake in particular. But
he's not that good after all, is he?
But those are the stats. So you've been here long enough to know about how this team ticks. Was it just the fact that you lost some key players, or has there been a bit of a focus shift this year as to why you considered like a lot more goals?
I'm not really sure. Like I know that there's a bit of a pattern throughout the season, not so much in the finals, but definitely throughout the season we might cop an early goal here or there, or maybe a couple. That seems to be majority of the time, but then we work back to get a result at the end of the game. I think that kind of is like a bit of a driving force for us. I don't know why. You'd prefer to just go up and then kind of just seal the game, but I think we like to just work hard for our wins. So maybe that's why we let a few in here and there. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah.
You sound a bit frustrated. Is that frustrating for you?
You can ask. I don't really care that much. I know the boys know that I like the finals time. Like the season, it's good to get the result. like, Ponds have done well this year to go undefeated, and it's good to look back on your season and see what you've done. But without throwing any shots, it's more so like when you win a grand final, a lot of people remember that going into the following year. Everyone talks about, minor prems, this and that, who gets the most points, but then, the next year, who won the grand final last year? 𝘚𝘌𝘈𝘚𝘖𝘕 again, hopefully 𝘚𝘌𝘈 3 times. So, it's whatever.
It certainly sounds whatever. Dodd, do you think the fact that you guys have taken the minor premiership a bit more seriously than maybe Dside have in years gone by, and maybe this season as well, will actually come to help you, and maybe you can kind of buck this trend?
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to ask something like this, so I had something to think about in the car right here. So, I honestly, I really do believe that the best teams don't live in the past. We focus on the present. And the present, the facts are the facts. We're undefeated. We got club championship, minor premiership. We beat Dside 2 weeks ago. We got Cotton Cup final. The Rezzies are in the final. The girls are in the final. We're in the final. That's now. We're ready. I've never felt more confident going into a final. We're going to win. That's it.
Okay, I like that. Sam, you haven't been here for the sort of heartbreak of the previous 5 grand final entries where they haven't gone Pond's way. But everybody here is saying, and there's kind of this, I don't want to use aura, I'll get that's embarrassing. But there is kind of a radiating energy of positivity about this grand final, more than what I've observed personally in previous years. So as a new player, have you picked up on this? It's kind of we're going for this amazing ride here, and something really special could be achieved this season. And what does that feel like as a player who's joining this new squad?
Yeah, so I can't really say much about previous seasons because I wasn't here, but training the past few weeks, it's been really good. The effort at training, everyone showing up for each other, the positive energy, everything's been top. Everyone seems 100% ready for this game on the weekend. As a player coming into this, it's great. Nothing more to say. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is Jaden fit, Glenn?
Yeah, he's fit. Mate, the kid could have a broken leg and he'd still play.
Does he have a broken leg?
No.
Okay. I've seen it. It doesn't look great.
He's fine. He'll be fine. He's fine. He's been working on it, sort of thing. He'll be fine. The kid, he's built like me.
It was AI.
Yeah, it was all AI. Nah, Jaden be fine. He'll be playing. There's nothing to go to stop him not playing, and he'll still be quick. Okay. Put it that way. He's not going to stop. Mate, he can be in hospital and he'll get out of bed and come to the game.
Okay.
We can never beat your other team.
I'll put the all-age men H team in. He'll be fine. So, yeah.
Blake, I know you quote unquote never heard of Ahmed. Have you heard of Tong and Fardod, and what have you observed from them in your short time here?
Yeah, played twice now, second game back, and then final. I don't think either of them scored the first game. Can't remember who scored that, but both scored in the final. So, yeah, we've got a job to do on Saturday, and pretty confident we can.
Talk to me about the individual battles against them, though. What did you enjoy, or perhaps, yeah, sure they beat you that day, but what have you gotten out of the that small sample size you've had against them?
As Dodd said earlier, Tong's all legs, just really long. It's a good battle. I enjoy it. You always want to play against the better players in the comp. You get up for that. His goal was probably a bit jammy, to be honest. Jaden just fallen over. But, yeah, I don't know. Saturday's a different game and hopefully a different outcome, I suppose.
Hubs, you guys have had a pretty good record against Dooney. As mentioned, you've been undefeated against them 3 times this season. You have to go back to round 18 last year where they basically played a all-age men's 8 side and somehow beat you guys 1-0 because this guy scored, which actually confirmed that they would... Oh, sorry, forgive me, Marcus scored. Sorry,
you mean last year?
Yeah, it was last year. Yeah, round 18. Yeah. Someone don't... Come on. Respect my ball knowledge, man. Jeez. Yeah, were you?
They dropped the cup today. They undefeated this year, so I was like, what?
Yeah. No. So undefeated against them in the 3 games you played this year. You have to go back to that round 18 game last year where they had that stupidly rotated side and still came away with a win. It was pretty incredible. And that actually meant that they finished second instead of third, which kind of changed how the entire finals series looked. For both of you, because you ended up 3 points behind them, they ended up 3 points ahead of you. So, a lot's happened since then. What have you taken from the games you've played against them this year? Because obviously they're trying to peak at this finals time, as they've probably tongue-in-cheek admitted at this point.
I think pretty much we took our chances. I think earlier this year at home we did dominate them. I thought that was, to be honest, a pretty easy game, that one. But, they've added a few pieces in. They've lost Liam. That's a massive loss. He's probably one of the better left-backs of the comp too. They say they weren't focused on minor premiership, but at the start of the year, everyone is focused. Everyone wants first place. No one wants to come second, third or fourth. Everyone wants, club championship, minor premiership, reserve grade first. So I think that's not correct what they were saying there. But I think, Doonside is probably, as I tell a lot of people, they're the hardest team come finals. During the year, they're a different team. Half blokes don't turn up. Ethan goes on 5 holidays a year. Come semi-finals and finals, I don't know, I just think Doonside turn into a complete different side altogether. It's like they're running around like they got 10 Messis in their team and they're just hard to break down. They fight for each other. But maybe, for Glenn's sake, maybe he should dump his first grade and put the 21s in and probably beat us this week. But, no, I think this week will be an even game. They're, growing. They just beat Workers 4-0. So, last game we played Workers, we won 2-0. So, obviously, they can score goals now, Doonside. So, I think, good battle this week.
Chris 𝘚𝐀𝐓, let's start talking about Doonside and where you think you can, figuratively get in behind them. Where can you beat them? What is their weakness, in your opinion?
Well, good question. I'd say, I'm confident in our front 3 in their one-on-one battles. I think, a lot of confidence behind, for my front 3, Dotty, Tongi, Ibi, but whoever goes in there, I think with our one-on-one battles against them, I think we can break through, and we'll definitely break through. But not just that, all over the pitch, overlapping runs from myself or from Geordie on the right as well. Crosses into the box. Getting our midfield 3 involved in the attack. Get something on goal. set pieces as it was from the last game we played against them. So all over the park, you just never know. But yeah, if we put our chances away early, definitely we'll have the front foot.
I can same question to you. Where do you think you can hit at Ponds?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Like I usually.
Find a friend.
I reckon we had a lot of chances in that first half of the game that they beat us, and they were struggling to keep us contained. Really, I feel like the chances didn't come how we wanted them, but we were creating a lot. Like Marcus went out to the right wing and the crosses and the headers and stuff, and 𝐏𝐄𝐀𝐓 and Victor were pretty much like yelling at each other because they didn't know who was picking up me or who was running in behind and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like there's some flaws in the back line, but and hopefully we can exploit them this weekend.
Ryan, you sort of mentioned before with your last answer that you guys are kind of on a different wavelength in terms of, you said yourself that maybe you've been a bit sort of slack in the early parts of the season, then you kind of locked in for this finals part. They've got players that have joined me in both through the season. They've got injury clouds hanging over players' heads, and these guys have just mentioned the amount of depth that they've had. Are you guys coming into this grand final as underdogs, and are you guys all on the same page that you all collectively believe that you can get one over them in this final?
Yeah, for sure. I think if you don't believe that you're going to win, then you're definitely going to lose. So regardless of how well Ponds have done this year, we've got to believe that this is our win this weekend. Simple as that. Yeah.
Tong, do you believe that, off of what your boys have been saying here tonight, that there is a greater collective belief towards the goal being this undefeated season, this grand final, and then also also Auburn in another week's time? Is there a greater sense of purpose among the Ponds this year, potentially?
Yeah, I believe in the boys. Just got to stick to the game plan, like I said earlier, what we've been doing throughout the season. And yeah, and you can beat anyone. That's what we've been doing the whole season. So we'll stick to the game plan, listen to the coach, and yeah, everything can work.
Dodd, going off your previous answer, what's the key to making sure that old demons don't creep in if, for example, you go down 1-0, which you've shown in games this season you can come back from, and you can win games from a losing position. But what's to make sure, how are you preparing mentally to make sure that if that happens in a grand final where the pressure's on and we all know what's happened in previous years, it doesn't rear its ugly head again?
The beautiful thing is we've just done it a few times already this year. So in the past, I'll be honest, when we've come third in the regular season, I feel like when we go down, we couldn't come back. We looked a bit lost, but now, even if we go down, we went down to Eastern Creek, matched around, we won 2-1 still, we were calm. We've come back to draw games, we've come back to win games, we've absorbed a lot of pressure when it's been 0-0 or 1-1 and win 2-1. Just feeling really calm. It's a really nice feeling. Last 2 years I haven't felt calm, I'll be honest, but the back line, I feel so good. Mate, these guys, I would not want to play against them. The way 𝐏𝐿𝐶 heads the ball, he puts his head in front of a bullet. You got Chrissy running around like a madman. You got Geordie, Victor, Hubbard, just so much experience. And finally, I feel a bit calm. It's nice. And then I just know I'm going to score, and Tong's going to score. So I'm like, we're going to win. Just feeling really good.
Marcus, do Doonside need to have this kind of positive self-talk in the same way that Ponds are to get themselves up for a game, or are you guys kind of just able to flick it on like a switch?
If you could see our group chat going into finals far out, you'd think we're madmen thinking how confident we are. You got Kyle writing in the group chat on Monday morning. It was 6:30. And he's messaging going, let's kill him out there on this weekend. And you're like, it's Monday, bro. Come on. You got to have confidence going in, and I feel we can win this game on the weekend. I don't know. It's just we've done it 2 times in the past 2 years, so why wouldn't we have any confidence? They're at the end of the day, yes, they went undefeated. Yes, they're in the Cotton Cup final, but they're the ones that have lost 5 grand finals in a row. Or whatever it is. 4, sorry. out of anything, yes, 100% we're underdogs, but they've got the bigger demon on their back going, like, we've got to win a grand final finally. So, I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, I feel confident. At the end of the day, they have the pressure to make sure they keep this undefeated season, basically.
I think getting to a final opens you up to more criticism, Ellie. But I think getting to a final is better than getting to a semi-final or not getting to the finals at all. So, you know, we could be having a very different conversation in a week's time if and when you guys come away as victors in that grand final. But do you think some of this criticism has come just because you've been open to, because you've come second place a couple of times, and nobody kind of remembers who ducked? Like nobody's going to give you more criticism than other teams because you've come so close to the finals. Workers have arguably had, you know, the same level of getting so close, but they haven't got to that final yet. So they can't even get to that level of criticism, for example, but you guys cop it the most. Is that frustrating, motivating, or none of those things, and is it something else?
I don't know. The funny thing is everyone remembers our 4 grand finals, so we're getting remembered. You want to talk about that? Nah, to be honest, I don't really care what's happened in the past. We've learned from our mistakes. Me as a coach, I'm only a young coach. I've learned a lot from what's happened in the previous years. But I just feel this year, which we're a different team. I don't think there's no pressure on us. I think if you look at the start of the year, you had a podcast, still remember it, and I heard Doonside talking, we want to come first. We haven't done that. We want to win club championship, and they still haven't done it. So I think the pressure's more on them. We've won 2 trophies. They haven't. Whether we win this week or not, I've always been the type, whoever comes first past the post is the best team in the comp. That's just on the day. We know Dooney is a good semi-final, final football team. We know that. We don't win on the weekend. It's not going to be disappointing for you. It's still what we've created. We've still got another final the following week. They don't. Do you know what I mean? So for me, there's no pressure on us. And I haven't put pressure on any of the boys. We're actually enjoying it. We're happy. We haven't even spoken about losing or what can happen or winning or anything. All we've done is just prepared ourselves well, learn from our mistakes throughout the season. We're talking about this year because this is a different group of what I've had on years gone past. And I believe this year what I have, there's only one result on the weekend. As much as we're talking about cocky, we haven't had this feeling in years gone past. And I've come here in years gone past actually feeling like, you know, they're actually going to go through a war for each other. And I don't feel like my players were. This year I feel, see that door there that's made out of steel? I think we're going through it whatever happens. So that's how confident I am. Whether people want to laugh about it or not, that's and that's coming from the coach. So. And if my players aren't ready to do that on the weekend, I don't care. After 5 minutes, they'll be sitting next to me. So there's no. I've been as hard as I can on these boys throughout the whole year. You don't perform, you'll be sitting next to me. You perform, you'll get what you deserve. But also their attitude. They actually been putting the pressure on each other, and it's been like 18 or 19 players fighting for 11 spots every week. And we didn't change. First 12 games, we didn't change the team. So that's how good they were playing and how well they've gone. But as for pressure, we're ready for it, man. We're experienced. We know what we got to do. This group is a special bunch of boys, whatever happens on the weekend. From my end, I only see one result, and that's coming from not my players, from a coaching point of view, how confident tactically we are right now as a coaching group. No disrespect, great coaching staff over there and stuff like that, but we feel like we've got plans, different structures, that we can switch on I'll give you an example. We go early 1-0, then for 20 minutes, they dominated us. We flicked one switch and they couldn't match it. They can say it was a slip over for the second goal, but what we did before that for them to slip over, they obviously still haven't seen for that to happen. So we're tactically very smart. We know what we're doing. Great coaching team. I just think we're ready to come, and good luck to them trying to stop us. That's all I can say.
You talked about mistakes in previous years. Did you manage big egos better or in a different way this year, per chance?
Yeah, I think we've been cocky in years gone past, but this year, if you can talk to them after every win, I say stay humble. That's one message I've told all my players this year. Doesn't matter who we beat or what the scoreline is, stay humble, because that's what it is. We haven't done anything. We said at the start of the year we wanted all these trophies, and we're in a position now to create probably. You can say this is our prospects. They win third three-peat. You probably say they're the best Blacktown team in the last decade. We go through right now and win 5 trophies. I don't think anyone's ever done that in Blacktown ever. So there's big things on the line at the moment. I believe we can go for a club championship, minor premiership, reserve grade Cotton Cup, grand final. I don't think you'll ever see a Blacktown team do it. And then the three-peat. I know Parkley in the years gone past done 4, but in this modern era, how good the players are, it's very, whatever they did. But I don't think the league was that good back then. I think there was 3 or 4 good teams, but now I think the league is really good. Like we've seen Newbury beat Workers, and we played them the last 2 rounds. We both scored late goals to beat them. So that's the team that got relegated. So that's how good the comp is. Every week you got to turn up. So I feel like the comp's gone another level this year, and it's going to keep growing. Good teams, better teams. We both have good reserve grade teams. We're always losing good players to teams that are giving them first grade spots because it's hard to crack our teams. So anyway, good luck to the better team. They're on there, but we're confident. That's all I can say.
It's a good podcast ending question, but we're not going to end there.
I had a three-peat.
You did. 2015, 16,
and
17.
Dreams of Champions wins.
Yes. So Doonside was the last team to three-peat. They could do it again.
Sorry, we're going to
do you think your comp was weak? You won 20-0. 15-0 at half time.
True. Don't take it away from me. Different eras.
Roger scored 10 goals.
That was my prime years.
Byron, do you think Pons is just trying to speak this into existence so that they sort of believe it in themselves? What are you sort of gauging from the answers and the manner in which they're answering them?
No, I think Ryan said it perfectly before. I think both of us are going to think we're going to win because that's the only way that's the only mentality you can have. I think some of what he's saying has some truth to it. I think the big thing for them as well, I think they all want to play for each other, and you can see it every week this year. I think the big thing that I've noticed them, they've kept a very similar team. Like normally there've been big changes in the past. I think keeping a team together really helps. But I think you look at us, we're all been here for a few years. I mean, I've only been here 2 years, but the boys all love playing for each other. So I think that's why, like I said, on the day, whoever wants it more will win, I think. And I believe that we can do that, yeah.
Okay. Just going to throw to Hubs, actually. Obviously, you guys have split focus heading into 5 p.m. and then 7 p.m. You guys have mentioned your depth, but Resi's being into a final could be a blessing and a curse. You know, it could go really badly, could go really well, could motivate you, could knock you off your course. Just a quick word on Resi's and their path to the grand final. That penalty shootout win was pretty awesome from a neutral standpoint. But how does that impact you in a good or a bad way heading into a first grade grand final?
No, I think for a club it's good to have both teams there. The Resis have worked pretty hard all year. Most of the year they had 5-6 players out there. Players go to Soccer World Cup, injuries, so they had a bulk of their team out for the year. We gave them a little bit of help the last game of the year. Workers weren't too happy about it, but I mean, I'll have to say it back at Workers. Go check the last 4 years. You pretty much had your whole first grade playing reserve grade and won the comp. So what we did is nothing different, but none of our first graders helped them in any of the semi-finals. So I think credit to them. They're actually a really good team, and I think they can knock off Marion this week. They have lost 2 players this week, so our Resis to overseas holidays because they didn't plan very well, like 𝐏𝐄𝐀𝐓 over there doesn't. But yeah, I hope our Resis get out there and win. It'll boost us up if they win, but if they go down, they'll be all on the hill cheering us on anyway. So good luck to them.
Just a quick word from Tong, actually, on new striker that's come in from Queensland's NPL, Ryan Rachani. First of all, the guy's a unit, right? He's a unit. And the second thing is, you and Dodd are essentially keeping this guy who's come from the NPL space out of the team. He's not been able to really crack any kind of starts. So tell us about him and what he brings, but also, talk to me about why you guys have been starting over a guy that's come in with such big pedigree.
I just think, to be honest, in training, NPL is just NPL, bro. I played in NPL. It's just a name. You know how it is, It's just a name. Anyone can play there, okay? But it comes to training, what the coach is going to do from there. So you have to want the position more in order to get in. He's a good player, okay? Don't get me wrong. He came from Queensland. Obviously, me and Dot we've been doing amazing job. Ibi as well. So it's kind of hard to the team is doing very good, and then obviously it's kind of hard to bench a player that's already doing the job right. So you're just gotta have to wait. I reckon, yeah. Just gotta have to wait.
I like the confidence. Let's go to Doonside, just talk about some of their players off the bench as well. Who hasn't been on in a while? Let's get Blake. I just want to ask you about 𝘚𝘌𝘋𝘌𝘈 off the bench last week.
Starting.
Fantastic. Sets up the assist for the second goal, gets the third goal, has a good performance. I called you guys out for not having good enough squad depth, and then once again you go and sort of throw it in my face, which is awesome. It's good for the content. Talk to me about his performance in particular, though, because it was pretty good, and I think these guys are going to take notice of it too.
Yeah, he's been doing it all year. I think first game I played with him against Marion, exceptional there. Obviously, what he did on the weekend was pretty special. I'm not even sure of his age, to be honest. Obviously, under 21s. 19, there you go. Yeah, he's unreal. But, yeah, I don't know. What else can I say? Goal and assist in, what was it? What minute did you come off?
Like 50. So I'd say 45 minutes.
Please start, Marcus.
But yeah, it's unreal for him. And yeah, when I first spoke to Jaden, he was obviously raving about him because they're coach, and yeah, obviously then you see it in person, it's pretty special.
𝘚𝘌𝘋𝐓, I've gone back and looked at previous grand final team lists that Pons have put together, and yeah, again, it goes back to the banter of, yeah, you guys have come so close, always the bridesmaids, yada yada, whatever. I actually think, player for player, you guys have made significant progress from previous grand final appearances to now. With the greatest respect to the players that have played in previous grand finals, you've had some absolute superstar players, and there are some of those players who have not aged out necessarily, but are not playing at the highest level when they've gone to other teams in search of trying to build them up, for example. Or there have been some players that have moved on into PL2 or even gone into all age. I actually think, yes, you guys have had a mentality shift, but my take on it is, I think this is actually probably the best team that you've put out in the live stream era, and I don't even think it's close when you go player for player. So, what's your assessment on that? And would you say, you've been at Pons for a number of years across two different stints now, would you say that this is the best team you've ever taken into the final day of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. If I can reflect to my time years ago with Pons, yeah, we had a fantastic squad back then when I didn't play back in those days. And then going across to Workers as well, it was a different experience altogether. And they still had a very strong side, and they even grew stronger, coming up against them at my time at Workers. But then coming back here, I think, yeah, by far this is probably the best Pons team that I've experienced playing in, gratefully enough, and then yeah, just see how the season's gone. You just couldn't put a perfect picture on it. So yeah, no, definitely is up there as the best. Yeah.
Ryan, you've been around for a little while as well. Where does this Doonside team, pound for pound, compare to its previous grand final winning editions?
I'm not going to say if we're better or worse. I just think that the team's different to what it was. Each year we're changing, bringing new players in, or players are leaving. So, but it's not so much about the players. It's about the mentality that we have as a club to do everything by the badge, do it as hard as we can, put in as much effort as we can, leave the field at the end of the game without any regret. You don't want to come to these big games and, kind of put in 50% effort on those challenges or those efforts, and then, you walk away with a loss and go, oh, well, could have done more, because it's too late then. So I think it's just more about just doing everything you can in the 90 minutes or the 120 minutes or whatever it goes to on the weekend, going as hard as you can, and at the end of the day, you have no regret walking off the pitch.
No regrets. I like that. Last one before we start building some teams. Sammy, I know you've played across a couple of districts and you've played here in previous teams in Blacktown as well. Just in terms of, we've talked about mentality from your end so much here tonight and the progress that this team has made as a unit, as a collective. How does it compare to your previous experiences, having come in this year, but comparing it to previous teams? What sets apart, not the footballing ability, the mental battle and the mental fortitude that these guys have displayed so far this year?
Compared to other teams I've played in?
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best, mentally. I've been at teams where concede one goal, concede two goals, heads go down. Whereas, complete opposite here. We concede one goal, everyone rallies around each other. we're up for the game. Before the game, we're up for the game. If we concede, if we go down, our heads are up and we're just ready. Just forget about the goal, keep going. So mentally, I think the team, like we've been this year, I think, mentally best team I've played in. By far, probably.
There's nods of a general consensus here. Right, I absolutely stress the importance of this. Only one person speaking at a time, if we can help it. We're going to build a combined 11. Yeah, okay. Marcus, name your 11. Go on.
Okay, see, I'll be completely honest. So you go Joey, Jordan, then you go Jaden, and we'll give you a centre back because I don't know if it's Acho or Hubbard, just because you guys conceded the 8 goals.
I think if
then
Blake played the full season,
yeah,
it would probably be him.
Yeah, but you just can't give it to Blake off 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many games.
He's conceded 9 goals.
It's not good enough. You have to give him the defender. Yes, I know, but we're doing it. You know, yeah. But you have to have Jaden.
Let them name their team. Yeah.
Just in any combined 11, Jaden is starting every day of the week.
Yeah.
I don't care. And then it could be 𝘚𝘌𝐾𝐓 or Paolo, both are good players. So I'll give you 𝘚𝘌𝐾𝐓 just because of the 8 goals again.
Yeah.
And then midfield would have to be Ryan, Sammy, and I'd probably go Alessi. And then right wing would have to be, I'd put Dodd right wing, Ethan left wing, and then Tong up front. That'd be my starting 11.
Pretty good team. We'll challenge some MPL teams there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think we all have the mindset that our team is the best team, and you know.
I think it was fair.
No, it's a pretty fair answer.
I'm saying off this season.
Yeah,
it's a combined 11.
Yeah. Look, like whatever he said would have been controversial. So you know, like it is what it is. But yeah.
No, once again, I've been rubbish.
Yeah.
Name your team.
Huh? I can't.
Hey, come on, Tom, give us an 11.
You want to name something? Oh, nah.
I reckon the backline should just be punts, bro, to be honest. Yeah, the whole backline. Huh?
So he wouldn't improve your backline.
Nah, because, bro, like, conceding 8 goals. 8 goals? Yeah, 8 goals.
Not gonna take Jaden's speed.
Listen, no disrespect to Jaden, yeah? Listen. No disrespect to Jaden. Okay, Jaden is a good defender, yeah? Don't get me wrong, he's a really good player, yeah? But the backline, bro, 8 goals. Come on, bro. Gotta give it to the whole.
He'd score 6. He'd have 6 with Jaden.
So you're saying Jaden, the only back covers your whole team? Is that what you're trying to say?
Why Jaden, bro?
Have you seen Jaden run?
Nah, listen.
He'll agree with me. Fado, you can't substitute speed.
I think the backline's changed a lot for us
Fado?
this year.
You can't
substitute
That doesn't help. I think, I think.
But the whole backline
I think
should just be punts.
4 out of 5 is
It's
fair.
not just
I
his
think
speed either.
the quality of Jaden, I think 4
I'm not
out of 5
arguing, bro. I'm just making
He's my son. Come on.
I just made it.
I can be honest with you.
Yeah.
Jane
Everyone's
has
entitled to their
evolved.
own opinion, I guess.
Jane has it.
But I do
evolved
believe
so much.
there's a bit from our team that should be in and yours.
Yeah.
I think workers also deserve a couple of players in there. You can't
Oh,
go.
yeah. I thought it was just this.
No, but I'm just saying if you're going on team of the year.
No, he wasn't.
Oh,
No,
okay. Sorry, man. I was trying to be nice.
Grand final team. That's all.
Yeah,
The workers have had a good season. They really
you know, let's go 8 and 6. That's what 8 and 5. What does that work? Math. No, 7 and 5. 7 and 5.
I want to hear the rest of Tom's team.
Yeah, keep going, Tom.
So,
That's 12.
I'll put him. Yeah, I'll put him and and Sammy. Yeah, you're the midfielder, yeah? Yeah, I'm watching you play, yeah. So him and Sammy, Sammy D, and who's 10, bro?
Nick.
Yeah, I'll put Nick, bro. And
Who's played 10 for you guys this year?
and Ethan, I'll keep the front 3.
I moved from 10 on the weekend because I got tackle.
Bro, no disrespect.
You ask Chris how his ankle was.
No disrespect to like all the players and stuff. Me personally, I respect the players that actually stand up in the big moments, like the big games, like Ethan did on the weekend. Okay, big teams. I don't care if you go beat 𝘏𝘓𝐻 juniors, freaking 13 or whatever. I don't care what that is, yeah? But
You can't say that.
I'm just saying, like...
Dodd once won the Golden Boot with 7 goals against
Oh,
𝘏𝘓𝐻
really?
juniors.
I don't know about that.
Controversial.
But I'm just saying, like...
You beat Marcus that year.
Ethan, you seen what he did on the weekend, you know, and what we did, me and him, the weekend before. So those kind of the games you need to stand up, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Front three, I'm happy with it.
I think Ibby as well. Forgot about Ibby in our team. The guy can dribble, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of it.
You're the one I can.
No, definitely. But you know also your left back forgot his name. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hello, mate. He could play easily on your wing if you guys. He's just as good as any of you guys up there. He is technically one of the best players in the comp. No, good, bro. You guys got him from where was he at last year? No, it was Rivo.
He didn't play last year.
Oh, I thought he played at River.
Played for the Army.
No, but anyway, he's a good player.
He did.
There's got to be a spot for him somewhere as well. Great player.
Judge fullbacks on their attacking ability as well.
Yeah.
He didn't play last year. But he did play at Ribo.
Who's coaching this team?
Ellie.
Okay. Quite adorable.
Won the comp.
Won the comp, indeed. Okay, let's get some. Fair enough. Let's throw some predictions out there. Is anybody happy to give us a scoreline that they think will come to fruition?
Yeah, 1-1 penalties win.
bro.
Yes.
I'm not running that long.
You're not playing. You're the bad omen. That's what he was talking about. You're the bad omen that he's changing.
We'll wait that long to get to the pub.
You'll say it, Dodd.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think 3-1 us. We'll score first. We'll score first, and then they'll score, and then we'll score 2 more. Because they never go down without a fight. So if they don't score, I'll be kind of disappointed in them. But I just expect us to score more. Yeah.
I think it'll be one of the best grand finals.
Yeah.
So, two good teams.
Yeah. 2-1? Yeah. Whatever. I just want to win. I don't care.
What was the score last time we versed?
2-0 your way.
Alright, I'm going 2-0.
2-1 the first, I think, and then 2-0 the last one.
It was 2-1, wasn't it?
2-1 the year before, and then 2, because we played you the last 2. Yeah. So.
Yeah, 2 years there is 2-0.
Yeah.
2-1 and 2.
Oh, is that where you scored the volley of
Ethan.
from the header?
That's right. Yeah.
Aiden gave me the slot, and then there was like a toe into the top of the crossbar.
Yeah. One was off a corner as well. Yeah. Hopefully we don't see it this week.
That's from the podcast, in case you forget.
Yeah, it is.
I skipped the intro from you adding me in it. I just don't want that in.
No, but anyway, on the last thing from our side, congratulations, you guys have had an amazing year. I think we are. Like even workers and Marion that made it. It is really hard to get there at the end of the year. And you guys obviously had 2 last year. We've obviously got our reserve grade as well. So credit goes to you guys for being there. Like proud of our boys for what they've done. Especially our club, it's a big achievement as well to get the women. That's never been done before. Both first grade teams to be in it. So I guess it is what it is. I think the best team on the day will win, or as it's panned out on the years before. You guys were the better team on the days, but let's just hopefully it's our time this time.
A question I've asked Marion and Pons in recent weeks, but you guys haven't been on. Ellie, you're one of the, just like Glenn, just like Shea and Kevy, you're one of the longest serving coaches of this unit. Maddie's kind of flashed and hinted at. He's kind of hinted at maybe these being his last 1 to 2 games. Where's your head at? Because doing both the Women's Premier League and this, plus the influence you have on resis and below as well, is a lot of time. It's pretty time consuming. So where's your head at regarding what next season looks like? Because you've been pretty instrumental in building this team up.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not even thinking about it or my goal. Sole focus literally every night. This week I'm literally probably staying up to 2 a.m. just thinking about what the possibilities are going to happen this week. Not even thinking about Cotton Cup or anything. I just need to tick this off by a list. I feel like it's one thing that, still a young coach, but I feel like it's, to lose 4 is not easy. As a coach, I feel like not much people have gone through what our club or our group's gone through. It is a different group right now, but I feel like I've learnt a lot. I feel like I'm still learning. I'm young as. Whatever happens next year happens. I don't even think about it till the season. Every year I lose a grand final, I'm getting sacked the next day apparently. So all the talk goes around. Look, is there things on the outside that I want to go to and do? Yeah, there is in life, but I've also got a young kid now. I've got to run a business, so it's just this type of football works for me. The time commitment for it and stuff like that works really good. And I love these boys. Like some of them are half the team's older than me in this team, so it's just like I'm like I'm very. No, I mean I don't mean it. I don't mean it in that way, but I feel like I'm part of the group. Like they're all my mates. We talk on the outside. I think we're pretty professional on the pitch, and I think this year's been probably the most I've put friendship aside, and I've actually done what's best of the team. In years gone past, I might favour some players, and I've made mistakes in that role where I feel this year I don't care who it is, I'm doing what's best for the team, club, our badge, and I feel like all the boys have respected that. And what happens after the pitch or after the game, we're best mates, and just this year, like just the feel of the boys, like we're hanging out together, we're going out, we're doing things, drinking after games. Like it's just we've never had that. And I feel like they've had it for years gone past. So, sorry, not you, obviously. Yeah. Maybe Dodd learns to hang out a bit more with the boys. Maybe he'll tap in a couple more. But no, I'm not a big drinker, but the rest of the boys. But it's just it's a different feeling. But yeah, I'll make a call as the season goes on. But for now, I'm just dedicated to my boys.
Well, that was deeply emotional. Don't know what you guys make of that, but I reckon we should call it right there. It sounds like Pons are quite motivated ahead of this one, and it sounds like Doonside are doing what they always do at this time of year. Boys, thanks so much for giving us more than an hour probably of your time here tonight to give us some good content. I think the people are really going to enjoy this one. It was a good mix of banter and serious when it needed to be. Good luck for your postseason endeavours as well, and I hope you both give us a wonderful show. But thank you.
You didn't tell us.
My tip.
Yeah.
He already said you.
We prospect next Monday.
That's a good one.
Please subscribe. Done.
He said workers last week. I don't think he really said you.
And now played and struck and in further forward now 𝘚𝘌𝘈𝘈𝘚𝘖. Ryan Dominaci wants a second goal. Isabel Greb should have a second goal and finishes with ease.